Well, hey, Beh, it's JamiThatsMe here. Listen, I came to talk to you guys a little more in detail about Rickey Smiley, okay? I touched on it briefly in another video that I did, but I did not really go into detail like playing audio, video, all of that. I was being a bit lazy, okay? So I decided to come back and give you guys the video in totality and we can, talk about it. A lot of you guys did come down under the comments and you were like, hey, Jami, the baby mama gave a statement. The baby mama gave a statement, this, that, and the other. And I had actually already saw all of that when everything went down. When I first saw earlier that day, Rickey Smiley did the reel that was floating where he opened up to tell everybody that, hey, I have twin daughters, right? Once he talked about that story, well, it wasn't much longer after that that I ended up seeing the video of the boyfriend or ex-boyfriend kind of going off, right? And accusing Rickey Smiley of some things. And we're going to get into that. And then, the baby mama coming forward, giving her 2 cents, all right? So listen, what I could appreciate was the fact that the baby mama as well as the ex-boyfriend or whatever coming to the front kind of gave validity a bit to what I was thinking, because I had a little bit of questions. I was like, no, sir. How is it you didn't know anything about these kids that you're saying you just found out about 5 or so years later, and these kids have been around you the whole time? Something about it isn't quite right. And when you dive deeper into what he's saying, it kind of makes you think like, you know what? Maybe Cat Williams wasn't really lying about you. Maybe you are a liar. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit sad, okay? But we are going to get into it because, first of all, for the people that are unaware, because believe it or not, there are a lot of people that still don't know what the heck is going on with Rickey Smiley, okay? So Rickey recently did a sit-down interview with Smitty and D podcast, and during that podcast, he opened up to let people know that he does have twin daughters, and he found out about those daughters being his biological children a year after his oldest son, Brandon, passed away, okay? And, speaking of that oldest son, Brandon, it's really interesting to me to hear about that, because I want to play this video, but because it's on Vlad TV and I don't really trust Vlad TV like that, we are going to share it a bit so that you guys can hear this, but I am actually going to kind of cover up the screen just a bit, okay? I'm not a fan of his, but let's speed up the audio just a bit, you guys. Please forgive me for the audio being sped up so much. We are going to share the screen here, but what I am going to do is I am going to try to put a thumbnail up covering that so that we can listen to it together, okay? 1 second. All right, you guys. So we're about to go ahead and check out this interview just real briefly. This interview that Rickey Smiley did with Vlad, right? And the reason why we're going to cover it just briefly is because Rickey Smiley tells us in a previous, or shall I say in a more recent interview, that he found out that his little girls were his kids when they were about 5 years old, 4 or 5, somewhere in there. Well, it's interesting because this isn't too different from a previous story with his first child that has passed away, rest his soul, Brandon, where he says he didn't find out that child was his until he was 6 years old, okay? So let us go ahead and get into that audio here.
You have how many kids?
2 biological, and probably raised about 15 kids.
Okay.
And put most of them through college.
Okay, and I guess one of your biological kids, you didn't know that was your kid until, 6 years later?
Yeah, my first biological son, yeah. That was an issue. We were all young, college, high school, relationship end. She get with somebody else thinking that the baby was his, end up being mine after 6 years, after speculation. DNA test, he came back mine. And after that, I raised him.
Okay, but there was another man actually raising that child thinking it was his child.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's a great guy. It's funny because after they got married, they eventually got married, and they had a daughter of their own. And the daughter's now 18 and actually worked for us, the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. And now attends the University of Georgia. But they're some great people, wonderful people. We went through a lot of stuff, but it all worked out.
I mean, how was that situation, for the other man when he has this child who he thinks is his, and this is probably his first child, at the time?
Yeah, I'm sure he probably also speculated that it's a possibility that it not his. So it wasn't a big surprise. So, we just figured it out and worked it out and got through it. Because it was tough to get through, but we all got through it.
Okay, so then after 6 years, your son now moves into your home?
No, I started out with visitation, and then eventually he came to live with me.
Okay, it's quite a story.
Yeah.
It's quite a story.
That's right.
So
You got to read the book, man. The book is off the chain. Stand by your truth.
So your son essentially has two dads in a way.
Stand by your
which is
truth.
a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some kids don't have a dad at all, but if you're lucky enough to get two, that's good.
Well, you actually believe in hitting your children.
Huh?
You believe in hitting your children to discipline them.
Hitting them, punching them in the throat.
Oh.
Punching them in the throat. Call it what you want to. Will knock their ass down. Because guess what I got? I got these hands. You damn right. Because if you don't knock their ass out, they're going to knock you out when they turn 16 and 17 and they feel entitled and feel like, So, yeah, I got these hands. I got a belt. And my son, my oldest son, I've knocked his ass down. My son is 17. I've knocked his ass down. But I won't knock him down no more because he boxed. So I have to play mind games on him like Chris Tucker played with Debo. Chris Tucker said something that will always stick with me. He said, yeah. He said, I be quiet when Debo around, but when he leave, I start talking again. Mind game.
Well, I mean, you said that.
All right, so you guys heard that pretty much, okay? And this interview here was recorded about 6 years ago, okay? So that was about 6 years ago when he did this, so that was well before the passing of his oldest son, okay? But it seems like this isn't something that's new to Rickey Smiley, okay? He's often out there, humping and bumping and may not know that the child is his until a later time. Does he say more about him or the baby mamas that be out here hunching and bunching and then begin to me and tied the hell up, don't know which one it is? I'm going to let you guys decide. I'm just asking a question, okay? I'm just asking a question. You guys let me know, all right? Now, fast forward to today. More recent, like I said, he did do a sit-down interview with the Smitty and D podcast, and we're also going to check that out where he goes into detail about learning about his daughters. You guys know that his son Brandon passed away. I believe it was in like 2022, I believe. I don't even want to speculate to what it was tied to, his passing, but just know his son passed away. His oldest son, Brandon, who we just heard about, that he just learned was his child at the age of 6, okay? He's going to get more into detail about that. So let us check out what he has to say, and there is a part 1 and part 2, okay? So this is Smitty and D.
Right before the 1-year anniversary of my son's death, I found out I have 5-year-old, identical twin, beautiful daughters. Identical twin daughters. I got a phone call from an ex-girlfriend. She went to court, found out that those identical twin daughters was not her ex-boyfriend. The whole time, here they are my biological daughters.
Let me just clear up the moment, y'all. Rickey just announced that he has surprise twins, and he just found out.
Ready for this? Been knowing them their whole life. They've been coming over to Grayson's birthday parties and play dates, playing on the swing set, all of that stuff. Phone call.
I believe Grayson is the grandson of his. I do believe to one of his other sons. I believe that's his grandson who these girls have been around. They are absolutely adorable. When I saw more pictures of these girls, I said, yeah, they look just like him. To me. Okay, he has some beautiful twin girls. And I will say, I thought that was really sweet when I found out about it. I was like, oh, that is just so beautiful. After a dark cloud, you get like this sunshine. You get this beautiful rainbow. You get these beautiful little girls to bring life back into you and give you more purpose and meaning. And I love that. You know what I'm saying? I do love that part for him. Even though, one thing about Rickey, he'll take on a lot of folks' kids, it seems, okay, and raise them up, okay? Rickey love the kids is what it seems like. All right, Rickey also love the hunch too is what it's giving a little piece as well now. Let's keep going.
When they were sick, what should I do? Should I give them this?
You did not feel any sort of connection. You did not see anything that's like, dang, that reminds me of me, or that reminds me of my son or my daughter.
Yeah, I just thought, since I was, older, that I had no idea, because I haven't had no kids since Malik.
Yeah.
When I tell you that's the first time I saw the sun again, during that dark hour, the sun came back out.
How old were they when you found out you were the father?
4, almost 5. And on their 5th birthday, I went into their house as their father. Right before the 1-year anniversary.
So that's part 1. Let me check out what part 2 is saying here.
I went into their house as their father for the first time.
What did that feel like?
It was their birthday. I came in with flowers and balloons. I had already sent cake and edible around. I was just sending stuff. I know I probably drove her crazy. I feel so bad now. I was just overly excited then. I didn't tell my family for a whole month. I didn't tell them for a whole month. I spent time with them where I can develop a relationship and they could be focused on me and I could be focused on them. And then the way I rolled it out was I had the whole family to come together thinking that they were going to a memorial dinner for Brandon. And I got on stage and thank everybody for coming. I said, God gonna give you double for your trouble. And I said, I want to announce that I have a daughter. I want y'all to meet Allison. And they brought her on stage. My oldest daughter, like her, under her eyes was just trembling, and she had her baby, and she jumped up on the stage, and she picked her up and grabbed her so quick, like my sister. They were shocked. And then I said, God will give you what? They say, double for your trouble. I bought that other twin, that other identical twin out. They lost it. Allison and Alyssa, biological twin daughters.
That's beautiful.
I went into their house.
That's actually, for me, y'all, I feel like that's a really beautiful. That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's a beautiful story. Just beautiful little girls. Oh, my God. That is beautiful. I'm not even going to hold y'all. Not even going to hold y'all, okay? Now, again, we all had some questions like, Rickey, how can you be around these kids all of this time and not know that these children are yours or even have some type of inkling, okay? Maybe in his older age, he figured he couldn't have any more kids or something. IDK, but I would have had something, okay? A man knows when he hunch on a woman and when she ends up getting pregnant or whatever, but the only excuse I would give him or lend him would be the fact that he was a bit older and maybe he thought he couldn't have any more or something, right? Because like he said, he didn't know he could have any more since, or he hasn't had any kids since Malik, okay? So it's been a very long time since he had kids. Now, I do want to get into some of the things he had to say because he felt like it was just so positive, okay? He really appreciated a lot of what you guys had to say. So let us go ahead and check this out.
Hey everybody, thank y'all for checking out my interview. Thank y'all for the kind and positive comments. Sometimes people just want to share. I just couldn't, be showing my grandkids and other kids and don't share that blessing with you as well. God is good. God allowed that to happen on the 1 year anniversary of my son's death. God was like, here you go. And they have definitely been a blessing to my life. I call them lifesavers, along with my granddaughter, Denver. But my twins, I actually call them lifesavers. I think they really saved my life. Kept me distracted, gave me something to do, something to look forward to. And it's been nothing but awesome. The co-parenting is top tier. And it's been nothing but fun, nothing but laughs, hugs, kisses. And everybody that left a positive comment, I really want to thank you. Of course, I seen some Section 8 element comments or whatever, people that want to take that blessing and turn it into mess or just something that they could talk about and blog about, all that stuff. But God moved in mysterious ways, and I just count it all joy. Thank y'all so much. And more videos to come, more pictures to come. It's brought me a lot of joy. I hope it brought some joy to your life. But if we get nothing else out of this message, that God will give you double for your trouble. It has been nothing but a blessing. So we good over here. God is just absolutely amazing. All right, y'all, have a blessed day. Peace.
All right, so y'all just heard what Rickey had to say, okay? And it's beautiful. I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. I thought it was really nice. I really, really did. The mess that he's talking about and people wanting to be able to blog about it and, turn it into something. I feel like it's not so much as the people really turning it into something. I think it's just the people discussing it. Okay. And that is because a young man, in my opinion, I do believe he is the leader of this. He came out, he had some things to say. Now, before that, I do believe a lot of people speculated, similar to me. Like, are you sure you didn't know like that you had two girls? Like, you sure you didn't know that they were yours, right? But this guy came to the front, right? And this is some of what he had to say. The first thing that I came across were some messages he put up on the IG saying them folks had everybody thinking I was an SHI and a deadbeat after I found out their quote unquote secret. All right. Even my own family went against me because of her lies. She been his side chick since she was 17 years old, and the mama encouraged her to do it. She's 37 today, so y'all do the math. When I found out she manipulated the whole world to defend this and keep their fucking secret, he even calls her first daughter his child too. Okay, so this man is coming to the front. I can't say that he's bitter or not. I don't know. But according to his allegations, he's accusing Rickey of some serious allegations. Now, I don't know if Rickey's going to acknowledge them or try to sue him or do anything about that, because you're trying to put a narrative out there about him and this young woman. Okay, it seems like he may have even had to deal with court, this young man, because I guess he felt like those children weren't his or something, and he was being accused of being a deadbeat, and the family's turning on him. So it's been a lot going on, okay? And if those two IG stories weren't enough to share with the people, he decided to come and give further explanation to what it is he was talking about. So let us go ahead and check this out.
I appreciate y'all for reaching out to me, man. 'Cause watching that video is so disgusting. It's wicked. And it triggered me, man. Like, I'll never get over that situation. For 5 years, man, they knew. For 5 years. The mama in on it. The grandma in on it. And the real victims are those twin girls and her oldest daughter. And he been calling her his daughter too, man. This so crazy, man, but they don't understand. Man, that situation me, man. It destroyed me. It destroyed everything I had going on. Mentally, I was shot. And when I found out about them having their going on, that's when she started trying to pull the girls from me and trying to manipulate everybody and saying, oh, Nehemiah don't take care of his kids and all that like that. Her and her mama just trying to keep covering it up. Nehemiah, you the dad, you the dad, you the dad. Them your girls, come take care of your girls. Having her dust that home girls, harassing me, and got her. Even her brother just passed away. That died. And before he died, he was mad at me. He was mad at me thinking I was some hate. And that whole time, bro, I'm like, so I'm trying to beat it. I'm trying to fight for my kids. And she just pulling it back. And it just denying access and the manipulation, invite my other kids to hang out with the girls, all that. Man, that shit was so, man, why? That situation killed me, and I know it other people out here too. Not just men. It's these children that's watching. You know what I'm saying? She has an older daughter who I came in and I just tried to love the shit out of that little girl because she lost her father a couple years ago to a motorcycle accident. So I just felt like God had his hands on that whole situation. I don't want to be the type of dude that come in and f*** it up. She need to see somebody loving her mama right, because her dad can't no longer do it. But when I saw how wicked her mom was and her grandma is, I had to get out the way. So that just gave her mom and her grandma just all the leverage in the world. Nehemiah ain't, he ain't. You see how he treating little sisters? As they were just pulling the girls away from me and lying. And this was too. Yeah, man. It was up, man. Man, I'm going to say all of this. And I'm gonna try to be done with it for now, because it's an everyday battle, and it's hard for me to even love the person that want to love me. It's hard for me to look at anybody the same, man. They try to sprinkle a little God in it. They try to throw God in it, and you know everything happened for it. Man, listen. Well, if God did that for a reason, let me tell you something. You better stop doing that. I'm telling y'all better make some laws and some consequences for these women who be doing this, because that her oldest daughter could have lost her mom behind that. The Rickey Smiley that we know, who we adored and we listen to every day, he could have been on the guy who we all adored, man, and we thought highly of, and nobody's perfect, but to sprinkle your son in that wicked and to sprinkle a little God in it too. Boy, that's dangerous. But he has enough time to make it right Because those girls are 6. Those memories can be erased. He met them at the right time. Well, he's telling y'all now. But at the right time, they're 6. But it's the older girl. She's about 16, 17 now. I just hope that situation don't up, man. I hope it don't give birth to somebody she's not even destined and created to be. Like, that could child up and start looking at people differently. She probably don't even want to hang around her mama no more because she's seeing how they just me over. That ain't cool, man.
All right. All right. So you guys just saw what all he had to say as well, calling the baby mama, her mother, wicked. Like, it's too much going on in the time the twins are supposed to be celebrated. He feels the need to express how he feel. I can't even tell that man he can't be upset if he indeed was connected to the situation involved, being blamed, being lied to about certain things. You have every right to be upset about it, okay? You guys leave your thoughts down below, but let me tell you, the mother of the children did come forward, okay, which I feel added a bit more value, okay, to the story for me, because what is said here, she says, to be rightfully honest, my twins' biological dad was the very first person informed that I was pregnant. No one had the joy of raising them as their dad. That was all me for those 4 years. So it seems like she's kind of debunking what this guy is saying. He's saying as though he was there and all of that, and I had beef with this person, that everybody hated me and everything. I was a deadbeat, whatever. And she's like, sir, I was over there doing most of the work. And be very honest, I feel like not only is she calling out this man with these alleged stories, but she's slick calling out Rickey Smiley too. Like, you knew, because I told you from the very beginning, sir. And you did not choose to show up and be present. Okay, so I held those kids down on my own for 4 years. All right. Goes on to say, I tried to stay quiet, but don't speak on a situation unless you know the truth or have both sides. There's 3 sides to every story. Choose as you wish. And for the record, DNA confirmed the validity of paternity, and we co-parent wonderfully. Okay, so this is what the young woman says. Now, Rickey also agreed and says co-parenting is amazing. It's amazing, but it is given that she kind of clocked him a bit for lying to the people is what it seems like to me. She says the biological father was the first one to know, as I would expect, just a piece, because I'm over here like, now, Rickey, you sure you didn't know? And it seems to me just a bit, it could have been a situation where after losing Brandon, he may have felt the void. Okay, in his heart, and said, you know what, let me go ahead and actually get a paternity test to see if these kids are mine. For real, for real. Potentially. I don't know how it went down, found out that they were his. I mean, I don't know why it didn't happen much sooner. Okay, now she did say it gave validity to the paternity, getting the DNA test, but I don't know why it didn't happen much sooner. I don't know why it took him to lose a child, and he still had these kids coming around to birthday parties and different functions and stuff, so why not go ahead and find this information out? I don't know. Okay, but I just wanted to come back, give you guys another thorough recap of everything that took place, because I know that you guys had y'all feel like I was missing the details, honey, okay? And y'all know typically with my content, I like to go into details, so I understand if you guys felt like I was lacking a little bit, and therefore y'all was lacking, okay? So I wanted to come back and bring that to you guys, and you're welcome to leave your thoughts and comments about the matter down below. I want to know what you're thinking. Okay, do you believe this guy that came to the front about Rickey? Did you believe Rickey's story from the beginning? Did you say, oh, but then that eyebrow raised up like, oh, what the hell? You know, let me know your thoughts about all of that down below, okay? I am Jami, that's me, honey. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram as well as Twitter at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I could face the rim, putting shots up.